When you think of a Minecraft elevator, what do you think of? Well, you probably think of a machine like this. A flying machine that goes up. So you just turn it on. Out and move. And then you could flick the lever and it would move again. But it's not smooth. It's all jittery, it's all bouncy. It's not very smooth. What if I told you there's a way to make a flying machine that is smooth? It goes up and down, and it functions just like a modern elevator. You can't feel it jostling around. So, how would we do this? Well, it is a special entity that you may or may not have heard of. But basically, whenever you drop a gravity block like sand or concrete powder, it's actually an entity. So, if you're trying, you can't break it in midair. So, what we'd do is we'd summon a falling block, and then we'd align it. So, we just have it as that. And then, so, wait, what just happened there? It just disappeared. Well, we're going to have to give it a different time, because it starts at a time of 0. And obviously, if you have a time of 0, you don't exist. So, time of 1. But then, we have the problem of that it's touching the ground. So now we need it to make sure it has no gravity so it doesn't fall. So no gravity. Oh. I can do stuff. So now it's just an invisible block. Now of course what you'd do is you'd teleport the block. Or first you'd have to execute at the block. And you'd teleport it up. So now obviously we're not gonna do it more slowly. So then you teleport the player to the top of that block, and then you could make an elevator based off of that. So here's what we're gonna do. So first we need to make sure that they don't despawn. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play this command block. This command block runs as all of the falling blocks that have a tag called elevator, because they're elevators. What else are they? And you're gonna make sure that their time is always 1, so they never despawn. So now we can go back to this. We can do tags colon, and then in brackets we do elevator. I can spell. So now we have a sand block, and it will never despawn. So what else do we need to do? Well, we need to make sure that we can raise or lower them. So this is what these command blocks are for. So this one will move them down if they're moving down, which is determined by this tag. So it will go down. And this does the same thing but opposite. If they are moving up, then they'll have the tag moving, and then they'll go up. So let's come over here. We're gonna add moving, so it should slowly raise up. We can also modify how much it moves up. And for even smoother, we can modify it even more so it's less. Although that is very slow. So we're just going to keep it at 0.05. So it just moves. And then we're going to remove the tag called moving. And we're going to add the tag moving down. And then it will go down. This works a lot better with multiple blocks, with multiple falling blocks, because then it's a little bit more smooth. Because as you can see, it's a little jittery. Alright, so now, how do we determine, let's glitch in a block, how do we get the player to, of course, teleport on top? Well, we're going to use an armor stand, so we're going to armor stand, and then we're going to set it so it has no gravity, and it has the tags pause marker, because we're going to use it to mark positions. And then we're just going to teleport this guy into this guy. Oh, oops, I can type. There we go. So now that we have it inside, we're going to need to make sure that the player can still move around on top. So now, okay, we can actually get rid of this. So what this will do is it will add this thing so it's moving. So of course it will go up. And then we'll give the player levitation level 255. Now, this is a special command because you don't fall and you don't go up. So when you have the player teleporting to the armor stand, it isn't jittery. Because let's just get a repeating command block. And we're gonna teleport the nearest player to an armor stand. Limit equal 1 type equal armor stand. So we can just slash summon armor stand. Oh, once. So now I'm assigned at the armor stand. I can look around, and since I have the levitation, I can crouch and whatnot. And if I clear the levitation, you see this god awful whatever glitchy stuff, and it sucks. So obviously you want to do that. Alright, so next command block. This one does the levitation. This one summons an armor stand at a falling block. So this one, because it's an elevator. And so then you summon the armor stand at the thing. It's invisible, it has no gravity, and it's a position marker. So we can now, of course, we don't have the stuff to start actually correctly moving this with the player attached. So now we're gonna kill entities that are armor stands, and then we're going to remove the moving tag. Remove moving. Or we can just kill this. We don't need this anymore. Alright. Finally, the last, or I should probably clear my effects, you know, so I can fall down. Alright, we're going to go on to this. Alright. This is the main bulk of commands. So we're going to set this up. I did this beforehand, so it wasn't a bunch of, you know, boring stuff of me writing commands. Alright, so we're going to execute as the armor stand that we summoned, and we're gonna tell that its position on its x-axis is the same as the nearest player. So I'm just using my name, but you can just do @p. So it'll set the x and z to be the same, so you can move around and you're not stuck in the same place and it sucks. Next, we're going to get the y. We're gonna set the y of the y level of the armor stand to the y level of the nearest moving block. So, and then we're going to do that for moving down as well, just in case. Finally, we're going to teleport to the player, so nearest player, to the armor stand with the same rotation as the player. And then we're just going to do one block above, because, of course, falling blocks are one block tall. Who knew? Alright, so now we can try. So we're just going to summon a falling block, and we're gonna get out those little in-between points, and then of course no gravity, 1 time 1, and tags of elevator. Woohoo! Alright, so now that we have it summoned, we can just like get on top of it, and then we'll slowly rise up. And we can always just execute or we can just do /tag at E, tag equals moving, remove, moving. And suspect clear. Oh, nope, we're doing that again. And we're just gonna kill at E, type of not player. So, that's done. Now, what else do we need to do? Well, we have one final thing, and that's to determine when to stop the elevator. So, we're going to get this final set of command blocks. We're going to put it right here. And then clear. So, what does it do? Well, it checks for a moving elevator that's going up. It makes sure that the block above it, that's 3 blocks above, so that the player can have space to, you know, not die. And that it's not glass, because glass is what I'm using to use as floors. You can use any block that won't suffocate you. And then, because if it doesn't suffocate, then it won't push you out. Then it will run as all of the elevators in the vicinity and remove their moving, so they stop. Okay? This does the same thing, but for moving down, and it just checks that there's slightly below it if there's air or glass. And if there is, then it won't. And if there isn't, then it will go down. So if it detects a block under it, it will stop. And if it detects a block above it, it will stop. And then this command block removes the levitation if there isn't a elevator that's moving that's nearby. And finally, this last command block will detect that there is no moving elevators, that there are no moving elevators, and it will then kill the armor stand so you aren't stuck in place. Alright. We can finally do this. Alright, so first off, we're going to get some glass. And we're going to get a block to stop it. Since this is the floor, it doesn't matter. So we can get a glass platform, and we can get the position, and then we're going to Now, I don't want to use sand because sand is ugly. So we're going to get a block state. And we're going to call it, we're going to give it name. And then we're going to give it iron underscore block because that is nicer. So now we have an iron block.
A few moments later.
Now we're just going to build up a ton. And then we're going to stop it right here. And if you want there to be more headroom, all you have to do is go in and just change these two numbers on this single command block, that one only. And then we're going to go down because we're going to have 3 blocks of headroom. So we're going to go down 3 blocks. I think this is lined up. Yeah. I'm going to build a glass platform. And then we're going to get a button. I'll place it here. And we should start moving up. And as you can see, I can move around. And of course, if you did a tunnel, you wouldn't be able to move off. So we just went through the glass and perfectly we stop. And then finally, what we can do is we can take this command block, which is just the command block for going down, and then repeat these 2 command blocks. And then you have a perfectly working elevator. And if you would like to make multiple floors, you would probably have to do a system where it takes the position that you want to go and it sets a block there. So you can press the button and it'll set a block there and it will make you go up. So now we're going to go down. And as you can see, that's why you want it to be glass so you don't actually take damage. Hello, Future Me here. I'm just here to show you how I made a system that works with floors. Basically, you can call the elevator if it's up. That basically just makes it go moving down. Or you can go up here and call it, and that will just move it up. You have multiple floors you can go up, and that just makes the elevator go up and sets a block to make it stop at a specific point. I also made sure that the system ignored the fact that signs and buttons are there so that it will not break. And you can go down from here or up. If you go up, it will remove the obsidian, so you can go up. And then once you get back up here, you'll be onto the final floor. And then you can go back down, which basically just makes the elevator go down. So that's nice. And the way I added more blocks to the system was I just in these 2 command blocks, the one that removed the tags, I just added 2 things. So unless block, and then the position is hashtag Minecraft signs. Alright, so I hope that is helpful, and since it's up, you can call it. And there we go. Hope you enjoyed. Bye-bye. So then what you could do is you could take, say, I don't know, I'm just going to use quartz. And you can build a pathway to your next floor. And that is an elevator. It's a smooth elevator. It's a little derpy, but it works. And it's much better than that. And of course, if you're actually doing this, you can always just hide the command blocks in a wall or make a data pack that just does everything as a function, and then all you have to do is have 1 command block per floor. So I hope you enjoyed. If you find this very interesting, please consider liking and subscribing, and I hope you have a good day. Goodbye.